top of it. Top of it. It's your boy AntMoe. And this will be week 3 of the podcast that I'm actually getting set up. I'm literally setting it up right now, so everything is not the way that I want it. But I want to just bring y'all in now. It's a lot to do. I have had a long day, and it ain't because I worked hard. It's because I'm tired and I need a day of rest. But I'm going to get everything set up, and we're going to get the podcast popping. And so y'all just get to see this part of it that they don't get to see. Kelly, say whatever smart comments you're going to say in the comments, because I know you're going to say something, because that's what you do. I'm trying to actually also see how this light is set up, because it's a crazy shadow in the back, and it's annoying, but I'm going to have to get a backdrop to fix that. With that being said, it's early and I'm begging, but if you go to the Anchor app, you can donate. It could be a monthly thing, it could be a one-time thing, but I need to get things like backdrops, and I need to get me a ring light. I need to get a different mic. I need to get me like a recording system, and any donation that you guys could do to help would be great, honestly. So if you go to anchor.fm and you go / Wayne's World Podcast, you'll find me there. It'll say something like help your listener or something like that, help your podcast. So I don't know, support them. Whatever it is, you can hit that, and then it will send me things. I will update you guys as I get it. I have a vision that I would like to have a producer and all those type of things, so that I don't have to do as much of the work. I just want to create the content for you guys. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It'll probably be sped up, but you'll just see me getting my house together. It is what it is. I am not perfect. I am a bachelor right now. I am in a relationship, because y'all ain't finna get me cussed out. But just stay tuned. Now what I'm going to do is it says you can set up a trailer. Now I wonder if I can set up this trailer on here. If not, I'm gonna have to pause it, set up the trailer, which will suck, because I really want you guys to see me set up this trailer, because it is literally gonna be a made up trailer that's not even really real, but it'll be fun to do. All right, so it appears that I'm going to have to set up this trailer a different way. So I'm going to set up this trailer, and then I will be back. Top of it, man, we back. I ain't started with the podcast just yet, but I had to create a trailer and a new intro for the podcast itself. So anybody who's a first-time listener, you know what I'm saying, if they want to get familiar with what the podcast may be about, it'll allow them to listen to that trailer before they ever decide to click on my podcast. And it's so funny, because I was just telling Randy that I was going to create an intro, and all of it was going to be fake. Like, the content that I have thus far is just not enough, in my opinion, to be able to pull from to create an intro. So I had to make something that I was comfortable with. And so I did the trailer. It's uploaded right now. And then I created an intro, and it's literally me acting like I'm laughing, like I'm cutting in on different excerpts and different parts of the podcast from previous episodes. It is cool to share, because, you know what I'm saying, it's dope in my opinion, but y'all will get to check that out in a second. So it's just interesting to see it, you know what I'm saying? But we getting going, man. I am about to I will upload that. I'm going to just leave it where it's at for right now. But we're about to actually get started with the actual podcast. And so I'm pulling up the Anchor app and the show notes. It only allows me to record 5 minutes at a time, but it's perfectly fine, because I know how to adjust and make it sound presentable for you guys. So you know what I'm saying? We finna get into it. You know what I'm talking about? I just think it's funny, man. As an entrepreneur, you're forced to be creative, and so I ain't got no production and all that stuff right now, so I gotta make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, it's just funny. But we gonna get into it. You know what I'm talking about? So I hope that my mic levels are correct, because if they aren't, we're just gonna have to make it do what it do. So here we go. Get the mic set up. Yes, sir. Here we go. Top of the morning, the afternoon, and the evening to you, whoever you may be, wherever you may be watching, looking, or listening. It's your boy AntMoe, trapping out of bando. Let's go. I'm gonna take it, man. Let me with you, big baby. And welcome to Wayne's World. It's my middle name. Man, thank you for everybody that's coming back to listen to the Wayne's World podcast. This is the 3rd episode. You know what I'm saying? And y'all been rocking with your boy, and I appreciate it. We got the YouTube popping right now for those who have been saying, listen, bro, long form content is cool, but I need something to look at. I appreciate it, so we're going to get it to you. We want to make things more official, man. So like I said before, you have a way to support. The Patreon is live, but I'm not going to share it just yet. But you can go to the Anchor app, and there's a link that you can click on to support. And I think it's $1, $5, and $10. And so if you want to help me get stuff together to get the podcast where I want it to be, get new mics. At some point, I want to get a producer. That's a long ways off on that one, but I need to give me a recording board, mixing board. I want to get a chair, just different things, man. And the small things add up to a lot with your help. And so I appreciate that if you guys want to help. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Also, anybody interested in sending me an intro that is a little more official than what I did? Like I was telling the people that's on YouTube, I created my own intro. I ain't gonna hold you. It ain't excerpts from other podcasts. It's something I created on my own. So it was fun to do. I ain't doing no tripping. But if you want to create an intro for me for the podcast, please email me at elevatedsense87@gmail.com. elevatedsense87@gmail.com. Also, you can email me there if you want to send me show topics or topics for the show, suggestions. You want to give me feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm open to it all. I promise you, no sweat off my back. I just want to interact with you guys. And thank you for taking the time to listen or watch me, man. This ain't easy to do. And the feedback that you don't get sometimes speaks louder than the feedback that you do. But what I've heard and what God has placed inside of me has given me more than enough to want to continue to do this. Also, remember on the Anchor app, you can send me voice memos. You can say, Kelly, I really want Kelly to send me a voice memo, talking how we talk, being how we be, because that will ultimately give me so much joy to know he is being dumb. But I think he got an Android, so he can't even send me stuff. he say he don't got no space on his phone. But it is what it is. So listen, man, let me break down how this gonna go. You know what I'm talking about? We getting into the intro right now. But after that, we gonna segue into you gonna get these sports, bruh. And, as you all may know, and if you've been living under a rock, you don't know, Kobe passed away. So I want to delve into that topic, you know what I'm saying, and give you my point of view, which is typically a little bit different than what other people may give, but it's my point of view nonetheless, and so I want to share it with you all. Then we want to get into the meat of this, which is misconceptions of the black culture. So many times, whether it's the food we eat, the different things that we may deal with mentally, or just family secrets in that dynamic, or things that we as black people like to hold and keep to ourselves. I want to be honest, and I want to be forthcoming with you with some things that I've experienced in my life, and get into that momentous moment, man. And I want to just kind of talk about support and how important it really is that you do give your support You know what I'm saying? Especially to a young black entrepreneur like myself, for other people that may not be me, but it's still important that you do that. And so as we move forward, man, I want to delve into that thing strong like a chicken wing. You know what I'm talking about? But man, we're gonna go ahead and go into a break, and when we come back, we're getting right into them sports. You know what I'm talking about? Yeet! Yeah, man. So on this app, when you're doing it through your phone, when you use the Anchor app was designed for your phone, really. And so when I do it through my phone, it will allow me to record no problem for as long as I need to. But when you're doing it through your computer, you could go through Safari or whatever. It only allows you to record 5 minutes at a time. So I'm gonna just do it this way because I have this handy dandy mic, this Samson. And so, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you saw my Instagram post where it was showing like a nice board and all that, that was a farce. I don't really have that, but it was just to give you a little dope content to look at. But I do have my MacBook. I do have, I just bought this little adapter on Amazon for very cheap. And I got this mic for like $30, $40 from Fry's. So, I'm just making the best of what I have, you know what I'm talking about? And let God do the rest. And I just realized that I'm not even recording from the MacBook. I'm not recording from my Samsung mic. I am recording from Mac. Wait a minute. Why is this mic? Bro, I'm sick. Okay. Well, guys, hopefully that audio works just fine, but otherwise I'm going to have to take that, and then it's not picking up my Samsung mic. Maybe something ain't connected properly. And we back, and we back, and we back, and yeah. Shout out once again to the people that's watching on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about? They done seen some behind the scenes stuff. As we do progress, the goal is to have the Patreons get the episode live, and then whatever we need to do to segue or kind of change up some things so it's more exclusive to them, we will do. But let's get into it. You're gonna get these sports, bruh. R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant. For those of you who don't know, over the weekend he died in a helicopter crash. Him and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, they were headed to her basketball game. It was also 7 other people that perished as well. And, oftentimes, it's a touchy thing because, people tend to glorify other people. It's normal. Since the beginning of the time, we've made things and people gods. We can't run from it. It's reality, but it's still unfortunate. And I think what got lost is that, Kobe and his daughter weren't the only ones that died. And so I'm not even going to lie to you. It was so little coverage over the people that actually also passed away that I don't know their names, and I don't know the ins and outs, the intricacies of the relationships that they had with, the connection to Kobe. I just think that it was a coach and another daughter that played on the team as well. Either way, it's unfortunate. And, one of the things that I wanted to say, number one, is I am a girl. I'm a girl dad. Hashtag girl dad. Shout out to all the dads out there that have nothing but daughters or have predominantly daughters. It takes a special man, without a doubt, to be able to deal with little girls. And for those who may be listening on the 30th, today is the 29th when I'm recording this, and my oldest baby girl, Samaya Amina Moore, turned 13 today. Daddy loves you. Yeah, man. So, I am a girl dad, and one of the things that I will say positively, regardless of anything that you may see or hear, is that it is quite clear that Kobe Bryant loved his daughters. He was, I'm not going to say the consummate father because I don't know the ins and outs. And I'm not going to be one of the people who acted like I was a super Kobe supporter or that I loved him like everybody else claims they loved him. but I do appreciate the father that he was, the competitor that he was, and that he really cared enough to stay down and true to the Lakers, even though at times he wanted to trade. Listen, some of y'all can't say nothing because y'all wanted to get rid of siblings and spouses for way less, but nonetheless, he was loyal to that city for 20 years, and he was giving back in the process. And so, for all intents and purposes, he seemed to be a great man. With that being said, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to act like I was somebody who was a super staunch Kobe supporter, or that, I was a Laker fan, or that I had his jersey or wore shoes. It wasn't nothing like that. I hated him, the player, because of what he used to do to the Mavericks. So I'm going to be the one who's going to not jump overboard and not be a culture vulture in a sense, or act like, oh man, I couldn't eat my food. No, I ate just fine. I slept just fine. But I do think it's a very, very sad story. Some people did tell me, John too told me that Kobe said that when he was much younger that he wanted to die young because he wanted people to lament his leaving the earth like people are doing now. Be careful what you speak because it can come to fruition. But nonetheless, he's survived by his wife, Vanessa, and their 3 other baby girls. So prayers up to them. And, just a little bit of history, even though it doesn't really matter as much. I grew up a Jordan fan, an AI fan, and then it was LeBron/Dirk. So I didn't really have time to really rock with Kobe or the Lakers like that. I was hoping that they lost to Portland and, all of that stuff. I thought that they was cheating. They cheated Sacramento to get a win. I'm going to stay true to who I was. But I do respect, like I said, once again, the man that Kobe was, the passion that he played with, and all of that. So, RIP to that man, and I pray that his family finds peace in the midst of everything that happened. And I will say this, although, listen, Kobe had more heart than LeBron ever had. He had more passion than LeBron ever had for the game. As much as we could say about LeBron, and listen, I was a LeBron fan from the time he was in high school, when he came to the scene. I'm not saying I was scouting when I was younger than him, but I'm saying from the time I knew about him to the time that he went to the NBA, I was rocking with LeBron. But it's undeniable that Kobe was giving that boy that work. I specifically remember when his first go around with the Cavaliers, when they was on top of the world, running the East, and he ran up against Kobe in regular season, and Kobe was giving this man bucket after bucket after a bucket after another bucket. Like, he was giving that man that work, and so that's what I grew to respect about Kobe after he retired. I actually looked back and was like, yo, this man had a great career. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget what I think about what he did to my team, because listen, 2011, we got our redemption. We swept the Lakers. Shout out to them boys for winning that 2011 championship. You know what I'm saying? And on the road to winning that championship, we swept the Lakers. So that, for a lot of us, that was good enough, because we never know if we're going to ever get back there again anyway. But I digress on the Mavericks. This is about Kobe. I admired his heart and his passion, like I said before. And I encourage us to don't be prisoner to the moment. Don't allow another day to go by without giving people flowers while they can still smell them. The reality is whether people think it was a conspiracy, whether it was just a plain accident, whether he spoke it into existence, that doesn't matter. What matters is that we all gotta die. We all gotta meet that man one day. And whether you believe in God or not, I for one do. I encourage you to make things right with people and make things right with God, because truly you don't know. You never know when the next 30 seconds, the next breath isn't promised to you. And so don't take that for granted, y'all. Like, show love to people. Go ask for forgiveness. Go make things right, because it matters. And it's people who are hurt, that we've hurt, that are broken, that we need to go apologize to. Make things right, because I'm telling you, Shaq, last time Shaq talked to Kobe was when it was his last game as a Laker. He said, give me 50, and he went and got 60. That's been years. Kobe retired in like 17, 16. Like 2-3 years they hadn't spoke. So You don't want that on your spirit. You don't want that on your conscience, man. And I just encourage you, like I said once again, man, to really show some love to some people that maybe even don't deserve it. I'm not saying everything is right. I'm not saying that, people always deserve that energy from you, that forgiveness. They do, because God forgave us much. But I'm just saying, like, do what you got to do as a man, as a woman, to not allow the sun to go down without making things right. I've even been doing that. And it didn't necessarily have anything to do with Kobe. It was just what was right. And so, yeah, man, listen, that's all I got for Kobe, man. I respect the man. I pray that his heart was right. He was a great, fierce competitor. You know what I'm saying? He will never be forgotten. I also don't believe that they should change the NBA logo to something he did. That's another way that we become prisoners of the moment, because we look and we think, man, he was so great. What can we do? Well, listen, he was not greater than Bill Russell. He wasn't greater than Jordan. I'm not saying that Jerry West should be the guy, but somebody actually made a great point. They said, well, maybe we should rotate the logo every 5 to 10 years. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but just to permanently change it to Kobe, don't be prisoners of the moment. And I think he was a great player. I think he was a great man. But we don't necessarily need to make that type of move right now. Let's just be cool. Let's be prayerful. Let's be mindful. You know what I'm saying? Let's go mend some fences, but let's not change the logo. I think that's a bit overboard, in my opinion. So, yeah, man. We're gonna take us another break. You know what I'm talking about? It's 5 minutes at a time on this thing. We're gonna do what we gotta do. But we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna get into the meat of it. We're gonna get into the meat. You know what I'm talking about? Yeet. We back in this thing, you know what I'm talking about? Time to get into the meat. There are so many things, first of all. Misconceptions in the black community are one of the biggest things that you can talk about forever and forever and forever and forever. For ejemplo, that all black people eat fried chicken. That all black people like watermelon. That they eat chitlins. That they like rap music. You get the point. Let me clear up some of those for me, for your boy, for AntMoe. You know what I'm talking about? Fried chicken, the grease makes me feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm not saying that I won't partake in some, but I really choose where I get my fried chicken from, because I think it's just a healthy lifestyle thing, right? Like, I don't really like fried chicken like that no more. When I knew better, I did better. Like, I never liked ham. So I'm the guy who's really got like 2 or 3 things on my plate. I never liked dressing. I don't like Miracle Whip. To be honest with you, in my honest opinion, I always thought Miracle Whip mayo was for white folks. You know what I'm talking about? You was either ketchup or mustard. You know what I'm talking about? But then Randy go tell me that little kids eat ketchup. That was disrespectful. But I digress. You know what I'm talking about? You better be like, I love you. I hit that blick on you. You know what I'm talking about? Fire, straight up. But yeah, man, I've never liked, I ain't gonna say I never liked ham. I never liked Miracle Whip and salad dressing and stuff like that. But I still can rock with the fried chicken, but not like that. I do not like watermelon. I think that is so overrated. It's ill. Like, I used to be the kid when we were young. I would give my watermelon away. Like, they would be trying to, they'd send us outside. They would make us, like, take this watermelon and go outside. Damn, I don't want it. Mama, I would rather go inside and read a dictionary than eat watermelon outside with my cousins. And that's what I was subjected to for a large portion of my life. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I maneuver through it. And I really, like, if I go to, like, 7-Eleven or QT and they got, like, a mixture of fruits, an assortment of fruits, and they got watermelon in it, I pass. I don't know what it is. I just don't rock with the watermelon like that, kinfolk. And please, I never have ate a chitterling. Like, I don't know for the life of me, is it the pig butt? Is it the pig intestine? That's still the butt to me. But I don't know. I don't care for it. But at the end of the day, like, y'all like what y'all like. I ain't trying to come between what y'all like and what you don't like. I'm just telling you, I don't fool with it. Another misconception, that mental health isn't supposed to be talked about. You sweep it under the rug. Oftentimes, you got people that's jumping off of stuff, that's peeing on folks, that's raping folks, that's, doing bad things in the black community, and it's swept under the rug by the family. You don't talk about it. Like, it's just like, we're going to act like this don't exist. We're going to still take you to school with this helmet on. Yeah, we're going to put you on the short bus, but what we're not going to do is acknowledge that you have a mental illness. That is so wrong, and I personally think a lot of it's on a spiritual level, but at the same time, we still can't deny the fact that it's real. And just the whole concept of keeping things a secret in general. Mama getting beat, daddy an alcoholic, we barely getting by, we can't pay our bills, but we ain't gonna ask for help. We too proud for that. I'd rather keep it on the low. Man, this is things that a lot of black families can identify with. You know what I'm saying? I heard somebody talking about, shout out to my boy Anthony Roberts. He talked about on his podcast how in his neighborhood, they were the only family with a driveway. And his friends reminisce on it, and they say, yo, y'all had the money. Y'all had a driveway. And he was like, nigga, we was broke. What are you talking about? But you get what I'm saying? Like, how people view things can be so skewed. You know what I'm saying? But we really have to challenge the ideas that we grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't like rap music. I don't really like rap music. I can rock with Lil 2 Chainz, Drake the GOAT, but I was an R&B guy. I was a contemporary gospel guy. So for me, a lot of those misconceptions did not even hit by far. And so, I got some other stuff I want to share with y'all that I'm going to wait for the next 5 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? Stay tuned. Yeah, man, I think that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of those misconceptions that we deal with just being in the black community that we often sweep under the rug or that we just roll with. Like, even the fact that all black people think all black people can fight. All black people can't fight. Now, I can fight. I'll punch you in your mouth, kinfolk. But a lot of people can't fight, bro. A lot of black people can't fight. I've seen plenty of black folks get knocked out. You know what I'm talking about? Go to YouTube. You'll see all the proof you need. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the food piece is huge, though. The food piece is ginormous, kinfolk, because I'm like, bruh, everybody black can't cook either. A lot of y'all got plenty of aunties that I wouldn't touch your food with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't eat your food. I wouldn't eat your auntie food with your stomach. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so, a lot of that stuff we gotta learn to work through that and do a whole lot better. But we're gonna get to the next topic. We're gonna just keep it moving. Here we go. Here's the dun dun dun. Yeah, man. So I had an experience when I was young that I didn't tell many people about. Now, truth be told, just to kind of give you a little foresight, I didn't even know that this is what it was until I was an adult male getting a checkup after I was divorced from my ex-wife, and I wanted to get a checkup, make sure I was good. Just if you're going to move forward, you're going to be with somebody, if you were going to go through your little hoe phase, whoever you are, I ain't trying to judge you in that regard. I'm just saying, for me, I wanted to go get myself checked out just to be on the safe side. Everything came back clear, so that ain't nothing big that we finna delve into. But I found out that I was molested when I was a kid by a family member. Now, first of all, let me say this. This is another misconception, is that if something like that happens to you, you keep it in house. You don't tell nobody your business. Or I remember one of my aunties approached me at the family reunion, and I pretty much made a comment that I grew up without a mom. My grandmother raised me. Like I've said on previous podcasts, me and my mom have a relationship now. I love my mom, glad she's here, want her to be in my life, but I didn't grow up with her. And so I made a comment, and she approached me about it because she saw me say something about it on Facebook. Misconceptions. So going back, I was about 8 years old. And one of my cousins had like it was a female cousin. Um, so one of my cousins had like a mini pool table set. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I wanted to play with that pool table so bad. And I was like, I don't know, I was about 7, 8, 9. I think I was about 7 or 8 though. My cousin said, do you want to play with this? I said, yes. It's okay, well, you got to do something for me. Okay, all right, what you need me to do? Essentially, I'll spare you the details on that part, but I was molested. I remember feeling shame in the moment. Something about it I knew wasn't right. And nobody had ever told me this is wrong, this is right. God has put something in us that can identify when something ain't right. And so, yeah, I remember feeling shame. I didn't know it was shame at the time, but after the fact, even like after the fact, I'm playing with this toy and I'm just like, I don't even want to play with this no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt really bad. I never looked at that person the same either. Like their relationship she was way older than me, and I just felt foul. And I ain't gonna go into the other details. But as I got older though, I thought it was cool because it was a female. Another misconception that there's no fallout from a situation like that. Everything's okay. Hey man, that's a badge of honor. You pretty much had intercourse in some capacity with a female at a young age. That is very scarring. Now, me personally, I still don't really know much of the fallouts that may have happened from that, whether it was a spiritual type of transaction that happened. Maybe I took on some stuff from her that I didn't know that I took on, or whatever demons or whatever that would make somebody do something like that with family members is very scary, but it is what it is. So I didn't think it really ever affected me in any way, let alone spiritually, which is probably where I may have had some things, like I said, that I dealt with that I didn't even know that I was dealing with as a result of that situation. And so with that being said, I'll say to anyone out there that may have experienced something like that, maybe the same thing, may have been worse, may have been on a smaller level, don't be afraid to speak out, to let somebody know something. Even if they don't believe you, don't be afraid, because that's not okay. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I'll take care of my family. I do my own thing. I don't mind sharing my past because I'm free from it. And if I wasn't, I'm free now because I'm sharing my struggles, because people need to hear stuff like this. But yeah, man, I was molested by a family member when I was young, and who knows who else it happened to, but it was very unfortunate. Find your rest in God, if nothing else. So, yeah, man, very traumatic experience after the fact. Like in the moment, like I said, I didn't know that I knew it wasn't right, but who was I gonna talk to? Like, I was just kind of living, and the results of, what could have happened from that. Like, don't get me wrong, I've made mistakes, and I've had trouble staying in relationships and all type of stuff. Who knows what happened as a result of that situation in my life personally? But it is what it is, man. I just moved forward. I forgave, never spoke about it. It is what it is, bruh. That person has kids that I know that are family, and I don't treat them no different. It's just life. You know what I'm talking about? So there's hope and there's peace in Jesus, man. That's the best thing, the only thing I can tell you. So yeah, man, we're gonna move on, and we are going to go into the momentous moment, man, where we close it up and we bring it on home. So here we go. Dun dun dun. That was the greatest kept secret. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, and like I said, hopefully that somebody who's out there listening can can gain something from that. Man, bro, I feel no shame. I ain't doing no tripping. It's life. It happens. You move forward and you break chains. So, man, listen, for the momentous moment, I want to say that support is golden. To do what we do in an artistic space is hard to do, man, and support is so little at times, but it's very much needed and it's very much appreciated. Like if I could just tell y'all, for the people who may be listening, what a share would do for me after you've listened to this, if it has impacted you in any way, if you have been listening from week 1 to 2 to now, it would mean so much to me if you shared it on your social media. If you personally text it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And all my podcasts aren't doom and gloom, you know, but I do want to talk about real things with real people. But listen, man, it means so much to send me $1, to send me $5 if you listen on the Anchor app, $10, you know, to subscribe to me monthly as I give you new things when the Patreon gets going, means so much. You know what I'm saying? As an artistic person, this is art. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to package your life in a way that can be entertaining or, you know, revelatory or peace, or provide peace to somebody through your struggles and your hardships means a lot when people can say, hey man, that impacted me, or thank you for sharing that, or I can't wait for what you talk about next week. I want to talk about very fun things, but I also want to give you a balance and talk about real things. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, just don't neglect to support people, you know what I'm saying, and give them a chance. Man, a share or a comment is much appreciated. Voice memo for those on the Anchor app, 5 stars for those listening on the on Apple Podcasts. Do what you do. Just watch my shoes. You know what I'm talking about? And so, just to recap, listen, man. R.I.P. to that boy Kobe. You know, may your soul find rest in Jesus. I don't know what this man's relationship was. Somebody posted something where he was talking about Jesus. He didn't say Jesus, but he said God, and he talked about him carrying his cross. I think it was after he had the whole situation that we don't even need to get into. But anyway, you know, we talked about Kobe, you know, fierce competitor, great father, you know, from all intents and purposes, great man. He had an artistic side that he actually let us see. You know, he won, I think it was an Oscar or a Grammy. No, I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. But he won a prestigious award for doing some great work. And it just showed that he wasn't just an athlete. So much respect to Kobe and his family. You know, prayers up. I don't like fried chicken like that. And I definitely don't like watermelon. I don't eat chillins. I don't really like rap music. I can fight, but a lot of black people, y'all can't fight, and y'all be acting like y'all got hands, and y'all really don't got no hands, kinfolk. Y'all fake, y'all fraudulent. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all fugazi. You know what I'm talking about? So y'all need to chill out with that. I was molested as a kid, and I never told my grandmother. I never really shared it with anybody, really. But I grew and I matured from it, and it is what it is. I didn't even see it as something that was dangerous or bad, or, you know, that person could have been a predator for all I know, but I just didn't share it. It is what it is. I forgive them, you know. It is what it is. I'm moving forward. And support is golden. Like, please, please, please. It don't have to be me, but support somebody. Monica messed up the end of my video, y'all. But that was the end of it. At the end of the day, I just wanted to say I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, for sharing, for supporting in any way that you possibly can. As I always say, life is hard enough, so don't just live elevated. Until next week. Peace.